Well, Jim, I hate to interrupt you. I know you never interrupt anyone else.
Yeah.
But we're being interrupted in a good way right now by your friend, Matt Holliday, who I believe has signed a brand new contract to be on Hot Take Central. We'll work through this for the 2023 baseball season. Matt Holliday, how you doing, buddy?
I'm good. You guys had Cole call me. Is Cole new?
Cole is filling in for Nate. Cole Bartemus. Okay. He's from Columbus, Ohio. He's an up-and-coming radio star. He also works, we found this out today, he works as a bouncer at a comedy club, and he kind of wants to be a comedian, so we think he's working as a bouncer at the comedy club to hopefully make his way on stage soon.
That's amazing.
Cole, say something. Cole, say something funny right now to show Matt how funny you are. Go ahead. Say, here's your chance. It's Matt Holliday, legacy player. Say something funny to show him you're a comedian.
Make fun of Jim. It's always a good. That's always a good play.
No, that's not how comedy works, Jim. You know that's not how it works. All right, here. All right, play along. All right, why was 6 afraid of 7?
Because 7, 8, 9.
Because 7, 8, 9.
Because 7 was a registered 6 offender.
Oh, that's pretty good. Kind of blue.
There you go.
Yeah.
Oh, he fooled us with that too.
That's for on the spot. There
I like that. Matt Holliday.
Nice job.
So I was going to open up. I mean, Jordan Walker, you got World Baseball Classic. I should know this. Did you play in the WBC?
I did. I played in the first one.
How about that? What was your experience like? Well, I was just look. I just was looking it up. I figured I'd ask him on
basic
air.
baseball knowledge.
I should have known that. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Thank you for representing our country, Matt.
Thank you, sir, for your service.
You're welcome. Yes, you're welcome.
How was it?
Go ahead, Charlie.
How was it?
Question to that, or was it just whether or not I played?
That
was it?
How was your experience? And then also as a follow-up, before you even answer, what do you think of this year's last night versus Mexico? Not so good.
It was fun. It was the first year, and so nobody really knew what to expect. I was on a team with lots of Hall of Famers, so I was only a second-year player, so I didn't play a ton. But it was a lot of fun. I got a chance to be around guys like Derek Jeter and Roger Clemens, and we had Ken Griffey Jr. and we had a lot of really good players. So it was cool, like to be around, to get a chance to just kind of watch those guys work and talk to them and be teammates with them. And so that part was really fun. We didn't play well. I think Japan won it that year. We didn't end up winning. But as far as an experience and getting a chance to be around guys that maybe you would never ever get a chance to sort of be in a clubhouse with, or spend time with away from the field for a couple weeks. That part was really fun and memorable. But, last night it's tough. I mean, you go into these games, and as you guys know, anything can happen in baseball. And when Mexico jumped out to that lead, it's a hitter-friendly park. And that guy, I can't think of his name offhand, but the 3-hole for Mexico, he jumped on a couple pitches, and next thing you know, you're fighting uphill. And there was obviously a strong Mexican presence at the ballpark, and they had all the momentum, and it's hard to recover a 7-1. I think it was at one point 7-1, and they expanded it. But that they have major league players, and it's so you got to bounce back, and USA's got to beat Canada, and I think they have one more game after that. Is that right, in pool play?
Yes. Sounds right.
You guys know better than I. Yeah. Anyways, all that to say is that I think it's fun to watch. It's got me tuned in. I enjoy watching the Puerto Rico and Venezuela game last night, and so I like it. I mean, I obviously not all the best pitching from the major leagues is participating, and it would be fun. I don't think there's a perfect time of year to have this where everybody participates, but would it be a little bit more fun for the Americans to have Scherzer and all of the high end top end pitchers that we have representing our country? Sure, that would probably give us the greatest opportunity to win, but it's to me it's a pretty cool event.
I'm going to ask you a genealogy question, like a 23andMe. If you couldn't play, like you were obviously good enough to play for Team USA. But some of these guys who can't make Team USA, they end up playing for Great Britain or Ireland. Like, to me,
Czechoslovakia.
No, I think Ireland. I'm kind of a mutt. Great Britain, Irish, Germany, but I would pick Ireland. So, like, for you, what ethnicity, if you had to pick besides United States, is it Irish? Is it Great Britain? What is it?
Well, my dad's half Italian, so I guess that makes me a quarter. So I would probably go Italian. If I had to pick, I really like my dad's eggplant parmesan and chicken parm. So I would probably lean towards Italian. So that would be my next best choice if the Americans wouldn't have me and some sort of they could pick. I don't think that I qualify for Italy, but I don't know what the qualifications are.
There are no qualifications.
Nobody knows.
There are no qualifications.
Yeah.
There really are.
Okay.
But chicken parmesan's my favorite if it ever comes up.
Jim, where would you? I mean, what country would you cover if you couldn't cover the U.S.? Like as far as a sideline reporter goes?
I'm all American, baby. All right. So if it's not America, I don't want it.
Wow.
But I would ask you.
Ugly American.
What I would ask you though, because you're playing spring training games, and while guys are getting ready for the season, to be in that situation where you're putting on your country's uniform, what did that mean to you? Like, you talked to Arenado, Goldschmidt. They talk about, the importance of that to them, what it means to them. What did it mean to you to be representing your country in that?
Well, I've honestly had a couple opportunities going back to high school of representing and wearing the USA uniform. So I got to do it when I was 16 years old and go to Brazil and represent the USA. And then again in the minor leagues, I got to go play in a qualifying tournament in Panama. So I had a couple opportunities, and it's just it's a real honor to be to wear that uniform and to represent the country and then to do it on the World Baseball Classic. I think right there with the Olympics, I think it would have been really cool to do it. I think there might even be a little bit more patriotism sort of feeling doing it in the Olympics, but the World Baseball Classic to get a chance to wear your country's uniform and colors and represent the country was a real honor. I mean, it's a great organization. I'm pretty good friends with Paul Seiler and some of the people that run the USA Baseball portion of that deal. So I root for them. Jackson got to play on the team last year on the 18U team, and Ethan got to play on the 15U team. So we've had a really cool opportunity in our family to represent the country and to wear that uniform, and so we're pretty proud of that.
So you've been through that. You know what it's like to be at the World Baseball Classic. You're not affiliated in terms of coaching this year, but one day I think you will be. So let's just, for the purposes of this show, you're Matt Holliday, President of Baseball Operations or GM for a team. What would you think of one of your pitchers, key guy for the rise and fall of your team in the upcoming season? What would your thoughts be about a guy going to the World Baseball Classic? Because I think it's different position player and pitchers. How would you feel about it?
Well, I mean, it's obviously a case by case situation based on their history, where they finished last year, how they feel right now. So I think it always would be sort of different with every situation, but. I mean, they're going to be throwing innings in spring training anyways. You want that. I think you do want that. That competitive. I don't mind guys ramping up sort of that extra bit of competitiveness or adrenaline to execute. In a game that means more than just your average spring training game. So I don't really have a problem with that. So I think it would be. If the guy's healthy and he wants to do it, and obviously they've built in parameters for pitch count and always check it in with the parent club to make sure that everybody's on the same page. I don't have a problem with it, and so I think it's pitching and the arm and how hard guys throw these days. I don't think that there's ever an exact, you can't. There's nothing to predict injury. It sure doesn't seem that way. You can have guys with incredible mechanics that get hurt. You can have guys with terrible mechanics that seemingly never have to miss time with an arm injury. So I think in such an inexact science of pitching, I would be okay with it.
Matt, how much of a disruptor is it from the usual, I guess, pattern of getting ready for a season? Is it to throw something like the WBC in it? I'm sure that after a number of years in the league, you've come into camp, you know what you're going to go, you can kind of ramp yourself up. But to throw this in there, does this kind of throw a little bit of a wrench in it, even if you are excited about the opportunity to go play for the country?
Not really. I think it's actually breaks it up. I think sometimes spring training can get long. It's built for the length for pitchers. It's built how many games and sort of the 6 weeks of playing is built to make sure your pitchers are built up as far as pitch count goes heading into a regular season. So I think at least for position players, I think it's kind of a welcomed break, or it's something that guys look forward to because it doesn't feel as monotonous as sometimes spring training can feel, and so I think every few years or whenever I think it's every 4 years or whatever it is. I don't think I think guys actually sort of look forward to it and enjoy going and playing in real games and playing in front of 40,000 fans and playing for something, sort of a championship type of feel. So I know at least for me and from the guys I've talked to, it's something that I think they look forward to.
We're talking with Matt Holliday. Matt, what do you think of Jordan Walker from what you've seen? This guy's 6'6", 250. He came into the year, I don't know if even had a 50% chance to make the roster in the Cardinals and kind of how they saw things with the outfield. And he had a little bit of an injury hiccup, but should be good. And he's essentially forcing himself on this roster. Yeah,
I mean, I think that when you talk about like high-end talent like that, and you talk about guys that the Rodriguezes of the world, when they come to spring training, like anything can happen. Like these guys have the talent that if they kind of put it together, they shine. They look better than everybody else. I mean, they just have the ability to overpower sort of the rest of the field as far as competition for playing time. And when you look at his physical skills, I mean, he stands out, and not just with the Cardinals, but with the entire league. I mean, he's got physical skills that are up there with the best. I mean, that doesn't obviously mean he's as polished or has put his whole game together like a lot of the perennial all-stars, but he's got that kind of ability. And so when a guy like that comes into spring training, no matter what sort of the expectations or sort of what the team or the league feels about his opportunity to make the team, he's got the ability to take over a game and to stand out in a way that makes you go, golly, I mean, how do we not have this guy on our team? Mm-hmm. And so I think that he's done that, and he's his performance in the minor leagues justifies the fact that he's really good, and that his performance is there, the physical raw skills are there, the maturity seems to be there. I haven't been around him, but from what I understand, the maturity's there to handle what ultimately, the failure will come. I mean, he will struggle at some point, but seems to have the mental aptitude to handle the struggles that will come, to get through them. And so I think a guy like that with that kind of talent can force his way into opportunity, and it seems like he's in the middle of doing that. And so obviously with the World Baseball Classic going on, it's given him more opportunities for playing time and at bats, and he's making it hard on Ollie and Mo, and figuring out, hey, we got to have this guy on the roster, and where the at bat's going to come from, and who loses out, and what are we going to do? But that's a good thing. And so I think that when you talk about potential middle of the lineup superstar caliber player, it's a problem that every organization would love to have.
So I can think of a guy who's maybe on the radio right now who was a big, imposing guy with all the skills as well. Do you remember how much pressure you felt as a young guy?
Oh, Matt. Okay.
Trying to. Yeah, it wasn't you, Charlie.
It was me.
I thought you were about Cole the
wasn't Matt
bouncer.
or Charlie or Seth.
Cole the
I thought
bouncer.
it was Charlie.
How much? Matt said I thought it was Charlie. Clip that up.
Hey, that's a compliment, kind of.
Yeah, kind of. How much of a challenge is that for a young guy who has a lot that he wants to show people to actually get traction and get to the next level?
Well, I think, like I said, the World Baseball Classic has obviously helped him with Tyler playing with Canada and Newtbar playing with Japan. It's obviously opened up, great opportunity for him to get a lot of at bats. I think as a young player trying to break in or trying to get to the major leagues, that's what you need. You need to be on the field. You need to be in front of Ollie and the decision makers. You need to show them that against the major league talent that you're swinging at the right pitches. That you are making the right decision in the outfield, a new position for him, that you're throwing the ball to the right base, that you're making the right reads on the bases, that all the things that go into winning games at the major league level on a team that's aspirations are to win the division and win the championship. You're not just a team, a bottom tier team that says, oh, okay, we can give this guy at bats and just kind of let him grow up in the major leagues. That's not who the Cardinals are. They need their young players to make the winning plays and to make the right plays. And I think that they've done a great job of doing that and developing young guys that not only have tremendous talent, but have acumen to play the game on the details level. So I think that's been a great opportunity for him to get out there and show those things. So as a young player, I remember, my sole goal was to make the team. And in 2004, I played really, really well in spring training. And ultimately, we still had enough veteran outfielders that I didn't make the team out of spring training. And because they didn't want me to be the fourth outfielder and sort of sitting on the bench, 3 days out of 4. And so they sent me back to the minor league camp on the last day, and I was crushed and thought I had done everything I needed to do to make the team. But, they had Larry Walker, Preston Wilson, and Jeremy Burnett, who at the time were all, very seasoned, accomplished major league players. But I was okay with being the fourth outfielder. But, I think that, somebody got hurt, and the next thing 10 days later I get called up and was able to play well enough to stick. And so as a young player, you're looking for opportunity, show them what you can do, and you're trying to make the team. And I think that their sole focus is making the team. And then I think that seems like what Jordan's doing, and so I'm fascinated to see how it shakes out.
So, Matt, it's been a while since we talked to you. So, we care about you not just as a baseball analyst, but as a friend in person. So, what are you up to? Are you still, intramural basketball or pickleball or working out, watching anything good on TV?
Yeah.
We've talked a lot about the Murdoch Netflix documentary.
You're not going to ask him about Alex Murdoch.
Cat does a very good impression. He has a nice Southern accent. So, what are you watching? What are you up to, man?
Yeah, I don't know that one. I haven't watched that one. I've been. I'm actually down in Florida watching Jackson right now, so I've got a chance to be at the last 3 or 4 games to watch him play. Ethan, my 15-year-old or 16 now, sophomore, is playing his high school season. They're 3 or 4 games into their season, so I've been at those games. I've been roaming over to Oklahoma State to watch, some of those guys that I've been coaching, and then. Just kind of, playing a lot of basketball, pickup basketball. I haven't played any intramural this year. I feel like I might have expired my age limit on that. I got a little sensitive with the old guy jokes, and so I've found enough pickup basketball without having to enter into the 19 to 21 range.
Nice.
So I've been playing some basketball, pickleball.
Streaming Hot Take Central. Streaming Hot Take Central.
Yeah. While I play, in the earbuds, and listen to that while I play, and so just kind of enjoying being a dad and traveling around a little bit, doing some ministry stuff with my wife, and so that's what I'm up to. We watch American Idol. You guys into American Idol?
I didn't even know that was still going.
It's been a while.
Oh, yeah. It's great. You guys have tuned in. It's ABC now. It's Lionel Richie and Luke Bryan and Katy Perry are the judges. It's pretty good watch.
It hadn't been the same since since Simon isn't part of it. You needed that in there.
A heel?
Well, it's different now. I think it's still good. It's different. I mean, obviously they don't have the heel to rag the bad ones. They don't show many of the bad. It's a kind of a different strategy. I think it's worth a watch. Maybe you don't do or don't like it, or
I'll give it a
watch. But
could Wayno win that?
Ooh, win? No.
I said win. Yes.
Hey, Matt, one last thing. Tomorrow's 314 Day, affectionately STL Day around here. What was the thing when you got to town that you were like, oh, I really like this. I'm glad I ended up being in St. Louis. That was unique to St. Louis and anywhere else.
You know, I think the passion for baseball and hockey too, but I think the overall love of Cardinal baseball and everything involved with Cardinal baseball and Blues hockey, I was really cool. I just loved the just how much the people and the town and just loved their Cardinal baseball and Blues hockey, and I thought that was awesome. I mean, obviously, there's a lot of other really great attributes of St. Louis that I enjoyed, but that was one thing when you get traded over and all of a sudden you become part of the fabric of Cardinal baseball. That it's cool. I mean, it's something that I think all guys feel, and when you start looking at players that have stuck around and guys that have taken less money to stay and all that, I think that's something that everybody feels when they get there.
That's awesome. And because of that, you love St. Louis so much, you want to continue, right, this year? Every Monday, we can lock this in.
Lock it in.
It's unpaid, of course, but 9:30 on Hot Take Central, right?
Like I said, if I have nothing going on, I'd love to talk to you guys. So, it's
that's a yes.
That's a great idea.
That's a yes.
That's a soft yes. It's a soft yes.
Hey, we'll take
yes
it.
Is a yes.
Thank you, sir. Great to talk with you. Hope everything is well. Sounds like everything's going great. And we'll talk with you next Monday, whether you like it or not.
Thanks, Matt.
Oh, yes. You're welcome. Thank you so much.
Thanks, buddy. Matt Holliday joining us on Hot Take Central, 590 The Fan, 590thefan.com.
That's pure love.
What an interview.
The love for this show is pure.
I was trying, as I'm asking, I was trying to look up, I Googled Matt Holliday World Baseball Classic. I figured he would have played at least once.
Yeah, he did.
Oh, I know.
It's been around a little longer than you feel like it has now. Sometimes I forget it's the fifth one.
Miguel Cabrera, I just saw. Miguel Cabrera is playing in his fifth, and they showed the headshots of him. I think 2006, whatever it was the first year, and he's a baby.
Yeah.
And then now, 2023, and you could see his face growing.
Yeah.
That's not nice.
Well, it happens to me.
It's funny how that happens.
When you look at when I look at my face as a 17-year-old, and I have very little body fat, and then you get to be older, Miguel Cabrera has grown in many good ways, but he looks like a different person.
It's all bank account, baby. It's nothing else.
I'm not hating on him. I'm just saying he looks like
rude.
a totally different person.
Don't be rude. Listen to the former president, who was never rude.